What is going on, guys? I'm Nick. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are taking a look at a big one. It is going to be the synthesis case from Caudabe. If some of you guys have been tuning in, you know that this is one of my top cases, and for the iPhone 15 Pro, it has changed a little bit, but it is definitely still going to be up there. So let's go ahead and get right into it, starting with the packaging as always. Here we go. You get a very nice front look with a very nice picture of the back and the inside of the case right there. Down here in the center, you get more information on it. You get to see it's for the iPhone 15 Pro. This one does have an action button cover. Some of the early releases didn't have that. They had a cutout, but of course, I do really prefer the button, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys prefer the same thing as well. So nice to see that. Right here, you see this is the synthesis case, not to be confused with the sheath, which we are going to take a look at as well later on. And then you can see it has rugged protection, sleek design. This is the black variant, but we do have another color that I'm going to show off in just a second. And you can see some of the protective features right here. So drop tested up to 2 meters or 6.6 feet. MagSafe compatible, of course. And it does have a protective screen lip. And then just down here, some Caudabe branding. Little hexagons that go along the sides, as you can see right there. On the back, of course, minimalist perfection, which is what Caudabe has been known for. You guys can go ahead and pause and read if you would like. And then down here, something that's really important to me, Caudabe is committed to green initiatives. Absolutely love to see that when brands are taking the environment in mind. But that is really all there is to take note of. Now you can push up here. Packaging slides out just like this. Set this over here. And now this piece just flaps open. And the case is right there. There is the synthesis. You can already get a look at that super nice texture and some of the changes. Let's go ahead and pull this out and take a look. So we do actually, before we take a look, you do get this little pamphlet that I do want to show off. Set this box to the side. Caudabe right there. And it is going to show off some of the other products they have, as well as some of the features of the case as well. So right here, minimalist perfection. Again, pause and read if you'd like. This is their Mezzo case for the AirPods Pro. Let me know if you guys would like to cover it. If you guys would like for me to cover that one. I didn't cover it just yet, but if it's something you guys want to see, then I'm more than happy to do that. Moving on, you can see again more of their products right there. Really nice to see all of these. I have featured a lot of these on the channel, and they are a ton of accessories that I use pretty much on the daily, but that's really all there is there. So super nice to see. Now we can move on to the case, but here it is, a very crazy textured case, and I absolutely love it. You can already tell all this texture. The synthesis is a more rough case. I do believe it's a little bit more rugged. I like to believe that, but this is really what you're going to be looking at. And of course, one of the main features of the synthesis is these little kind of textured grips along the sides. You do get them on both sides, which are very nice to see, and you can definitely feel them. It's a little stippled grip. Each one of these dots you can feel. They do come up off of the case. There you go. You can definitely see it there. They are definitely raised off the case. But looking over at the inside, see, I do have fingerprints on the inside. I realize the inside material for some reason collects a ton of fingerprints. Not really a huge issue on the outside, but just something to take note of. You do get that MagSafe ring right there along with the bottom MagSafe. As for the edges, there's not too much going on except for the corners. And you can see down here in this corner right here that we have a ton of extra kind of protection right there, a little extra padding, which is going to help a ton with corner impact drops. That is really great to see, and it is in all 4 corners. So definitely nice to see that. But let's go ahead and grab the phone and let's toss it in. So right here we do have the iPhone 15 Pro in natural titanium. We're just going to slot it in. Starting with the volume side. Always, there we go. Very nice fit, and that is the case right there. Super nice looking minimal case, and I just can't get over the way it feels in the hand. But let's go ahead and start with the fit test. So moving over to the front, let's see if this case has any pull, and it definitely doesn't have anything crazy. I'd say by the volume buttons, maybe just a tiny bit, but that's really not Caudabe's fault. They need to have some kind of give if they want the case to fit nice. So that's it. Over on the top, really no pull, and I'm pulling really hard up there. My thumb, yeah, you can definitely see how hard I'm pulling up there. But down here at the bottom, let's see here, tiny bit of pull, but again, pulling pretty hard. I don't think anyone's going to naturally pull on their case like that. And that is because we do have a very nice cutout over on the bottom. We're going to take a look at that in a second. Moving over to the back, we do want to take a look at this camera protection. They did change the style of this camera back here. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all what it looked like on the previous model. It is a slightly different look, but honestly, I think I might dig this one a little bit more. But either way, personal preference, back to some protection. You can see right here that despite the change in design, they did not give up any protection. Those camera lenses are still very nice and sunken into that lip, so you still have nothing to worry about. Now, of course, we do have to do the wobble test with this one. I'm not sure if this will wobble more or less than the previous model, so let's go ahead and find out. Looking at the bottom where you're normally going to be typing, you actually have pretty much zero wobble right here. Really nothing to take note of. As we work our way up to the top, you do get your normal wobble over in that top left corner, but really minimal. It's actually surprisingly minimal. I expected a little bit more just because of the change of the design, but I think this one has even less than before. So super nice to see that. Now we can go ahead and start looking at the front, where we have our front screen lip, as they stated, and you can see that there is a pretty nice lip, especially on a minimal case. You can definitely see right there where my fingers are at. You do get a really decent lip. I do have a tempered glass screen protector on here, so if you don't have one, you're gonna get even more lip than this. But if you do have one, and I recommend running one, this is pretty much what you're gonna be looking at. You have nothing to worry about when putting your phone face down. And then over here on the volume button side, you do of course get your two very nice volume buttons, which are labeled plus and minus. They do have very slight air strips cut in, as you can see right there. And of course, you do have your action button. Super nice to see that. And then these do have air slits as well, just in case that is important to you. Let's go ahead and test out these, starting with the action button. Okay, you can't totally hear the button, but I've realized that the action button is a quiet button altogether. It is extremely tactile, and you can tell that it is being pressed right there. Action volume. I do have a shortcut set up, so it's not going to do that. But if I do hold it, you can see it will also open my camera up. So super nice to see that. You can tell it is working. Now moving on to the volume buttons. And those volume buttons are extremely nice and tactile. I realize they have a very nice press, not crazy soft, but not stiff at all. Just enough to let you know you are making the gesture, you are pressing the button, and I absolutely love that. Moving down, we do have these stippled grips, which are some of my absolute favorite grips on any phone case. I really wish some other cases would adapt this, because grip is insane. If all you care about is grip, this is definitely not one to skip out on. I would actually really recommend this if all you care about is grip. And then moving over to the bottom, you can see you do keep that texture all along the bottom, and then you get a very nice cutout for your USB-C port. Absolutely love to see how generous that is. And then a very nice accurate cutout for your speaker and your microphone, as you can see right there. Now moving over to the right side, you do get more stippled grips, which are very nice again. And then you have your power button, which does have some slight air slits cut in, as you can see right there. And let's go ahead and test this out. And that is also an extremely nice button right there. I'd say it feels pretty much identical to the volume buttons, which is also extremely nice. So nothing to complain about there. As you work your way up to the top, you do see you do keep all of that texture along the top. And it is just, I'm just always blown away by the texture on these cases. I don't know how they do it, but I absolutely love it. Something that I do also want to mention is down here in the bottom corners, you do see this kind of extra material that you can tell right here. Those actually do protrude a little from the back of the case, just a tiny bit, but I do think it helps protect the back from any kind of scratches, and it is going to give you extra material for extra protection on corner drops. That is extremely important, and I really like to see this change. This just shows how they are committed to all of that drop protection in a minimal package. But of course, moving on to the MagSafe test, it is MagSafe compatible and we have to run it through its paces. So we're going to start with the Spigen OMAG ring as always. We're just gonna go ahead and snap this on and test it out. Snaps on just fine, as you can see right there. And of course, Caudabe does not disappoint with those magnets at all. Shaking pretty hard. If you guys have been watching the channel, you know there's not a lot of cases that can handle shaking like that. And it's really just, there we go. We finally got it to come off after probably some of the hardest shaking so far. But let's go ahead and set this down and let's see how it does here. Tapping away at it. And you can see it just folds in on itself. I really doubt that this is gonna come off of this case. And yeah, it's definitely not going to. It definitely passes this test with flying colors. As I've been using this case and running it through some tests and just everything, I have noticed that it has not struggled with any of my MagSafe accessories. Moving on to the Apple battery pack, so we can test out some strength as well as wireless charging. And snap this on. You can see it does wirelessly charge just fine. I charge via MagSafe all the time, so I already knew that. And you can see that the battery pack does not interfere with the camera lip. There's just the tiniest bit of space right there. So if you have any bigger packs, you might want to be wary of that. But if you have the 15 Pro, that isn't really the case's fault. It's just because of the size of the phone itself. Just something to keep in mind. But trying out some sliding it around, you can see that it sticks very well. You have really nothing to worry about right there. I do think the silicone material on the back of this sticks extremely nice to the texture of the case. So it's just another plus right there. Trying out some false drops. I do want to try and get this to fall off at least once, but it's really just not going. There we go. We got it to kind of fall a little bit, but that's really all it is. The magnets on here are, they're insane, as always. They're just so good, and you really have nothing to complain about there. But that is the Apple battery pack. I definitely think this is one of those cases that if you drop it with your battery pack on, battery pack is going to stay on. I don't think you're going to have to worry about that. But a big one for me, of course, the MagSafe Wallet test. We're going to snap this on and see how it does. I have already been running this case with this wallet. You do get that nice little animation. And I've had no problem so far. This one as well does not interfere with that camera lip. I don't think that's something you really have to worry about when it comes to the wallets. They're pretty small, so not a huge concern. But doing some false drops, there we go. Oh, actually, just barely got it to lose itself. There we go. We got one to come off, but we are hitting it pretty hard. This accessory does not have a silicone back like the other two we just looked at. It is just all leather, but it still sticks extremely well. So it's super nice to see that. And I actually did drop this phone with this case and this wallet, and the wallet stayed on. So before even doing this test, I already knew that I trusted this case with my wallet. It had earned that trust, and I definitely think that it's something you guys can trust with it too. I don't think it's something you really have to worry about. So I do trust the case with my MagSafe wallet. But we do have one more, and it's going to be a big one. That is the Nomad Base One test. We've been doing this. This is I'm pretty sure it's 5 pounds. I gotta double check, but I'm pretty confident it is 5 pounds. So we're gonna see if this case can lift this heavy stand. It is a rubber bottom, all metal, glass, and a MagSafe puck integrated. So we're gonna go ahead and test it out. I'm gonna snap this on right here. You can see it does MagSafe charge totally fine. And now, only touching the phone, we're gonna see if it can lift this base. And there it is. I really wasn't worried about it, and I knew that it was going to be able to lift it just fine. Let's go ahead and try this one-handed. Just like this. Again, just touching the phone. That base comes up, no problem. Go ahead and move this box, otherwise it just fell over. But there we go. And we're gonna see if it can turn it on its side, and of course it can. Even with a shake that we normally don't see. Snapping it back on, just try that shake again. You can see it is totally shaking that stand all on its own. So super nice to see that there. Let's try it one more time. And there it is. So definitely some insane magnets from Caudabe as always. And they've just blown it out of the park with this one. I absolutely love the synthesis, but I did not just get the black one. They also have it in a blue, which you can see right here is a very nice blue. I'm gonna go ahead and snap this one on the phone so you guys can take a look. They are identical. MagSafe strength is the same. I went ahead and tested both of them already. I just had to show off this color right here. If you have the blue iPhone and blue's like your favorite color, that's all you care about, this is definitely one that you've got to pick up. Just look at that blue. It is a very nice, I would say royal blue. It is extremely sweet looking. Just not much else I can say about it. Just let's take a look at that. I'm gonna go ahead and throw up some shots of this because usually I'm not a fan of colored cases, but this one just really stands out to me. But that is really it for this one, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I do want to pull this out just so you can admire the cases on their own. We have the synthesis from Caudabe in both black and blue. Super nice to see that. And I'm a big fan of this case as well. Let me know what you guys think about this one. I'm just extremely curious. Do you guys prefer this over the sheath? And if you do, just let me know why. Do you prefer the softer material? Do you not like the stippled grips? Maybe it's just the camera module on the back that you prefer the look of the sheath. Anyway, that is it for this one, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And if you did, let me know in those comments down below. I know a bit of a longer video, but I just love this case. If you have any recommendations, drop them down in those comments. I would try my best to respond to all of you guys. I know it might take me a little while, but just be patient with me and I will get to you. I promise. That is it for me today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.